For the given absolute value function, let's look at how we can find the horizontal and the vertical intercepts of the function. So when we're looking to find intercepts, one thing to note is make sure your answers are always given as ordered pairs. To find a vertical intercept, also known as our y-intercept, at this we're looking at when the input is 0, what's the output that goes with that? So to find that, we're going to evaluate our function with an input value of 0. So if we input 0 into our function, we'll have 5 times the absolute value of 0 minus 2 minus 3. So order of operations, simplifying inside of our absolute value, we have the absolute value of negative 2. The absolute value of negative 2 is positive 2 because it's the distance from 0. And then 10 minus 3, we get 7. So keep in mind this is a point on the graph of this function. An input value of 0 gives us an output value of 7. So anytime you're looking to find a vertical intercept, the key instruction word to think about is evaluate. So now to find the horizontal intercepts, also called the x-intercepts, now we want to solve f of x equal to 0. So we're saying what input gives you an output value of 0. So to find that, we're going to take our function and set it equal to an output value of 0 and solve for x. So to solve this absolute value equation, the first thing that we need to do is to isolate the absolute value. So we'll start by adding 3 on both sides. So we have 5 times the absolute value of x minus 2 equals 3. Then we still need to continue to isolate our absolute value, dividing both sides by 5. So we have the absolute value of x minus 2 is equal to the fraction 3/5. Once you have isolated the absolute value on one side by itself, we're now going to rewrite this as 2 separate linear equations that no longer have the absolute value bars. So our first equation looks a lot like our original. So x minus 2 equals positive 3/5. And then we're also going to write an equation using the opposite. So x minus 2 is equal to the opposite, or negative 3/5. Each of these equations will now be solved for x by adding 2 on both sides. It's fine to let your calculator help you with the fractions. So 3/5 plus 2, it's like 3/5 plus 10/5. So we get 13/5. Negative 3/5 plus 2, so negative 3/5 plus 10/5, we get x equals 7/5. But again, these are ordered pairs because these are points on the graph. So these are telling us the inputs that give us an output of 0. So 13/5 is telling us the point 13/5 0. 7/5 is the point 7/5 0. So these are the 2 points on the graph where it intersects our horizontal or our x-axis. So anytime you're looking for horizontal intercepts, kind of the key verb or instruction word to think about is solve. So to find the vertical intercepts, we will evaluate. To find the horizontal intercepts, we will solve.